Welcome everybody, we just got done watching the Nintendo Direct, and before we get into this, I do want to say that this Nintendo Direct was a bit underwhelming. I think there's a lot of pressure on Nintendo anymore every time they come out with the Nintendo Direct. Everybody just kind of expects that it's going to be some grand epic endeavor. They're going to go through and showcase all these amazing games. And there were some great titles released, so let's just go ahead, hop into it, and the first thing we're going to be covering here is the Nintendo 3DS section. I do have an article from Newsweek pulled up here on my phone. We're going to be kind of pulling the information from that, because I didn't take notes during the during the Nintendo Direct, but I did want to talk to you guys about that. So first and foremost, the first thing that they announced was WarioWare Gold. WarioWare Gold is going to be on the Nintendo 3DS. It's going to be the new WarioWare title, and it looks fun. I'm hoping it's a little bit better than the Wii U version that was released, Game & Wario, because that game in itself just was not that great. The next thing that they announced that I feel like is worth mentioning is Dylan's Headbeat Breakers, action tower defense game. It'll team you up with your Mii characters, your friends' Mii characters, as your team guns. It did look kind of entertaining, did look kind of fun. I wanted to see more of this. They're also porting over from the Nintendo DS over Mario and Luigi Bowser's Inside Story, and they're adding a brand new campaign in there where you play as Baby Bowser. So it's kind of like what they've done with the Mario. I want to see the Partners in Time that they did. Detective Pikachu comes out March 23rd. Looks really, really great. This one right here had me excited and kind of pissed off at the same time. First of all, they are bringing over Luigi's Mansion as a port, but it's a 3DS port rather than the actual Nintendo Switch. I would have much rather had this on the Nintendo Switch, but the fact that they're even porting over Luigi's Mansion, the fact that we can even play that on something this generation, I thought that was pretty cool. So I am really excited to hear that. I'm hoping maybe that they'll just decide to eventually port that over to the Switch. Maybe they're stepping up to port that over to the Switch, kind of test that out, then port both of the Luigi Mansion games over to the Nintendo Switch. That would be pretty cool for them to actually go about and do. Kirby Star Allies, we kind of got a little bit of extra information about that. You're going to be able to play as some other characters in there: Rick, Kind, Koo, Marks, and Gooey. That's available March 28th. When we got to the Nintendo Switch section, this is kind of where things started to blow up. This is where a lot of people got really disappointed. But let's hop into this and just kind of talk about what they said. I'm pulling up an article right now here from Polygon. We're going to take a look into it and kind of see. So, Mario Tennis Aces is going to release this June. They did showcase quite a bit of this trailer. I would show you guys if it wasn't for Nintendo, and I don't want to get that DMCA on my channel. But they went in and showcased a lot of the different things you could do. They had some shots. They had some like extra little things that they've added. One of the things I do want to make mention, though, that they actually did show in here, and I kind of feel like it's going to be hit or miss with a lot of people. You can play with just the regular Joy-Cons, but they do have that motion peripheral in there, so you actually do see someone swinging the Joy-Con to swing for the remote. So Nintendo's still putting the gimmicks in their games, but at least they're giving us that option to play with a controller if we so desire. Real quickly, Little Nightmares has been announced for coming over to the Nintendo Switch. The Nintendo has a Pac-Man costume. I think you have to use the Pac-Man amiibo to get it. Splatoon's they put a lot of focus in on Splatoon 2. It actually kind of surprised me. They have their first paid DLC coming for Splatoon 2. I think it's called like Splatoon 2 Octo something that was coming through. I think it's like $20, so that was pretty interesting. Let's go ahead and talk about the ports, because there were a lot of ports that were coming that they talked about on the Nintendo Switch. Let's get the one that probably the live stream that I was watching no one really seemed to care about. I personally like the game. I'm not going to buy it on the Nintendo Switch just because I have it on my PlayStation 4 as well as my PC, but they are bringing Undertale over to the Nintendo Switch for those of you who are interested and have not gotten a chance to play it. The Nintendo Switch port that I was most happy about, which is also coming over to the Nintendo 3DS as well, was Toad Treasure Tracker. Toad Treasure Tracker was one of those hidden gems on the Wii U that I loved, and I didn't really think we'd get to see anything from that, but the fact that Nintendo has come in and said, we are going to port this over, that was pretty cool. And they are adding some, for the Nintendo Switch version, they are adding some extra levels in there from Super Mario Odyssey. So I thought that was pretty awesome to go about doing that. The Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy is coming to the Nintendo Switch. That has been confirmed to release July 10th on the Nintendo Switch. So if you didn't pick it up on the PlayStation 4, if you've been holding out because you want that game to be on the go, that is coming there. I don't know if it's coming to the Xbox One that same day as well, but I will definitely let you guys know and tweet that out on Twitter as soon as I can confirm that. July 13th, we are finally getting Octopath Traveler. Now, Octopath Traveler, for those of you who do not know, is an old-school RPG that is being developed by Square Enix. They have a demo up that's on the Nintendo eShop, which I need to go actually play. But Power Up Mushroom said he played it, he loved it, and I'm all good for more JRPG goodness. Dark Souls is getting an amiibo. The Solaire is getting his own amiibo from Dark Souls. I yet to actually even touch a Dark Souls game, so I don't know anything about that, but those of you who do care, they did show some gameplay preview of Travis Strikes Back, No More Heroes. It does look like a pretty sweet game. Definitely does look interesting. The last port that I do want to bring up and talk about, though, and I guess before we kind of move on, I kind of just jumbled this video all in one giant mess, but the last port that I really feel is worth talking about is going to be Okami HD coming to the Nintendo Switch. They are going to be bringing the Okami HD to the Nintendo Switch, and the Nintendo Switch version actually does let you be able to draw on the actual screen and create things that way. The Sushi Strikers Way of the Sushido is coming, and that was pretty much where they had decided to end it. They had a lot of people were just kind of frustrated with what was going on. It's like, you can't end that at there. The last thing Nintendo did, they showed these two, they went back to Splatoon 2 after they ended their whole thing with the Splatoon 2, and they showed the squids jumping around, sitting there shooting, and you had the two little squid people from Splatoon pop up, the girl and the guy. They're sitting there firing at each other, and all of a sudden there's this light that starts flowing, and they turn around, and the girl is looking right at the Super Smash Bros. Logo. It didn't say if this was a new game, it didn't say if this was a port of the Wii U, all it simply said was Super Smash Bros. 2018. So Nintendo just confirmed that something Super Smash Bros. Is coming to the Nintendo Switch. Something Super Smash Bros. Is going to be coming to the Nintendo Switch this year. That was a really interesting way to end it, because they built it up into such a surprise, like I said, because they were focusing on Splatoon 2. Then they put the focus of the Super Smash Bros. Onto Splatoon 2, and then brought over that logo. So that in itself was just like, wow. I didn't really expect to see that coming. I kind of thought that maybe we'd see something else, but not to the extremes that came out to be. That was a bit of a surprise. Now, as for information about Super Smash Bros., I feel like Nintendo, here's just a little cherry on top, a tease for you guys to show you, yes, we are working on Super Smash Bros. For the Nintendo Switch, and we're not saying any more information on this, guys. So you're just going to have to wait. And I think what's going to happen, this is going to be a big thing for them at E3. This is going to be something that they're going to focus a lot on at E3. I wouldn't actually be surprised if this is the big reveal that they're planning on waiting for at E3. I wouldn't be surprised if this is their one of their big home hitters for the holiday seasons of 2018. I was actually kind of surprised they didn't announce anything about the Metroid Prime trilogy being remastered. or even just porting that over to the Nintendo 3DS at this point. I don't even know if they could actually do that or not. But I do half expect them sometime this year to announce a Metroid Prime Trilogy remake. But guys, Nintendo Direct, let's not get our undies in a wad. Let's not freak out because it was complete and utter garbage. Didn't surprise us. I don't think Nintendo's going anywhere. I don't think Nintendo's slowing down the motion. It's just not every single Direct that is going to come out is going to be a massive reveal of amazing games. Developers need time to develop these games, and Nintendo has a track record for doing some pretty amazing things. So, over the course of it, I really think that the Nintendo Switch, sorry for the bit of the jump cut there, had an important phone call to make there. But, guys, Nintendo, I'm sure at this point, they're going to have more surprises for us to come, so don't worry about that. But let's close out this video as usual. Thanks again, guys, for tuning in. Be sure to hit that subscribe button there to keep up to date with all of my content and to check out my latest video. Like, comment, subscribe, follow me on Facebook and Twitter. Links are going to be down below in that description box. You guys have been watching The Spoony Bard, and most importantly, stay happy, be happy, game happy. The Spoony Bard is checking out.